We were in the middle of the quarrel between Vasishtha and Viswamitra in Mahabharata, as narrated by Chitraratha. And we were in the story where Viswamitra, when he came to know that everything that was served by Vasishtha was produced by Nandini, the divine cow, the cow which could give anything the owner wished for. She was a Kamadhenu. And Vasishtha refused to give because the cow was vital for his daily rituals. But then Viswamitra insisted, as a king, he would take it by force, by or whatever means. And Vasishtha kept quiet. And Viswamitra and his army, with his orders, started taking the cow by force. And Nandini looked at Vasishtha pleadingly, for help or an order. And Vasishtha, through his looks, through his facial expression, gave permission for Nandini for self-help, to help herself. And then Nandini produced from her various parts of body a huge army consisting of warriors of different tribes. There were warriors from the Yavana race, who were Iranians and Greeks, and Hunas, who were the white people, Chinas, the Chinese, and from India, it talks about Keralas and Dravidas, Andhras, and from all parts of India. And it was such a force and so ferocious that they scattered Viswamitra's army far away, and Viswamitra was totally defeated. He was humiliated. And Viswamitra then realized that his power as king was nothing compared to Vasishtha's power, which he gained through long years of penance, long years of meditation. And Viswamitra then decided that was the way to go. He gave up his kingdom, went to forest, and engaged into long years of meditation. And first he was made a Rajarshi, that is a sage among the kings. Then Viswamitra was not satisfied. He continued his meditation, and ultimately, stage by stage, Brahma came and gave him Brahmarshi, the title of Brahmarshi, which was the ultimate, and he was equal to Vasishtha. Then he returned. But though he became a Brahmarshi, his enmity towards Vasishtha didn't ease. He was still looking for opportunities to harm Vasishtha. But Vasishtha, on the other hand, had nothing against Viswamitra. He did what was right at that time to protect his cow. And then there is the story that follows is as a result of this, Viswamitra's looking for opportunities to hurt Vasishtha. Vasishtha had a son by name what is his name? Srishti, not Srishti. Anyway, he had the eldest of his son was going towards the forest when a king by name Kalmashapada came across. They were coming from opposite direction and it was a narrow path. Then the king, he said, as the king, I have the right of way, so you give me right of way. And this guy, Vasishtha's son, he said, look, I'm a Brahmin and I have the merit earned through long years of penance. So I must have the right of way. And the two started quarreling. Shakti is the name of Vasishtha's son. The two got into arguments and finally it ended up into a quarrel. And Kalmashapada got so wild that he took his whip and bet Shakti with it. And Shakti was wild with anger. He said, you have bet me unreasonably. This is an act of a demon. So I curse that you became a man-eater from this instance. And as per the curse, he became a man-eater from then onwards. Viswamitra, meanwhile, was always hanging around Vasishtha's ashram, looking for opportunity to cause harm to Vasishtha. And he witnessed this event. And he also induced the Kalmashapada to do harm to Shakti. And at that time, a sage came and he was very hungry and thirsty and he wanted some food and asked Kalmashapada, who outwardly was a king. So he requested, give me some food, I am hungry and thirsty. So Kalmashapada returned to his palace. He was tired. He started sleeping right away. Then at the middle of the night, he woke up and remembered the offer to a Brahmin. So he ordered his servants to prepare food. And it looks, those days, Brahmins ate meat also. So they were looking for meat to go with the food. And meat means they could, I don't know, meat of a deer or hare, I don't know what they ate. But they couldn't find any. And reported to Kalmashapada. He said, you serve him with human flesh. Well, there is nothing wrong with it. And they got some human flesh from people who had died and prepared food with it and gave it to the Brahmin. With the very sight of it, the Brahmin realized it was human flesh cooked as food, and they cursed Kalmashapada again that you, what is it called, you become a man-eater because you served me with human flesh. And Kalmashapada was infested with this demon in him, and he went rushing to Shakti, who was still there, and ate Shakti straight away. Because he was that demon in him and he had the order from Viswamitra. He ate Shakti, who was Vasishtha's eldest son, and then because of Viswamitra's persuasion, he went and ate all other sons of Vasishtha also. And Vasishtha was grief-stricken, but still he wouldn't think of any revenge to Viswamitra. That was not his nature. He was very sad. He felt hopeless. He thought life itself was meaningless when all his children were killed. And he went and tried to kill himself. He jumped from a mountain down. He fell down, but he still didn't die. He jumped into a river. Still he wouldn't die. He jumped into the sea, and still he wouldn't die. And finally, what is it called? Shakti's wife came to him and told him that, look, before that, but then Vasishtha heard the chanting of Vedas from nearby. Then he looked around, could find someone, and it was Shakti's wife who said that, see, the child in me, a male child, is chanting Vedas. And that gave Vasishtha hope that if all his children are dead, at least there is a boy to be born. So there was hope for a progeny. So Vasishtha gave up attempts to commit suicide. And we will continue with the story tomorrow. Namaskaram.